Let's talk about my favorite top cut deck lists from Nationals. We had 32 players total across all three regions make top cuts, and I've selected only 10 deck lists to show off. I had three criteria for how I chose a deck list. Number one, I didn't want more than one list per character, and I wanted at least one list per region. Number two, is this a list that I vibe with? Is this a David style list? Would I play this list at a major event or at my locals and have a good time? So it has to feel me. And then number three, how saucy are the deck building choices? Even if it's like an interesting character, right? Like I didn't select Edshot, for example. Nothing against Edshot or that player, but it felt like, okay, these are the lurkers cards, and then we added on teaming with the attack titan. But it didn't feel quite saucy enough, even though it was a pretty saucy character. We had, I think at US Nationals in top 8, we didn't have a single repeat character. We had 8 unique characters. So it was a very, very cool top cut. But in the deck list itself, I'm looking for like saucy deck building choices that surprise me and surprise me in a good way. So starting off, let's see if I can get my thing ready over here. At number 10, I have Corey Nelson on Recovery Girl. And while Recovery Girl is not my kind of character, it's kind of a cringy character. Now, this is pre-errata. I thought that the way Corey built Recovery Girl was really, really cool. He found this 4-check tribal list where we're really packing a lot of damage here with our attacks, like this 11 damage Grisha's transformation. We can then blow their entire stage up with this thermal blast when we make it a throw, force them to ruin 13. Even if they have throw hate, we force them to flip 5. And now this 4-check tribal is allowing us to play a very high rate of these very powerful 3 difficulty foundations. We get to play 4x Enormous Axe, blow it up for value, 3x the Desperate Struggle. We get to 4x Recuperation Time, getting +1 or -1 damage every time we gain health. And then we are looping Referee Jury. So both first place and second place were using Struggling with Studies, whereas Struggling with Studies loops with the powerful action. Travis was doing it with Runaway on Chaos, and Corey's doing it on Water here with Referee Jury. So number 10, Corey Nelson. At number 9, I have Torin from the OCE region on King Ghidorah, and I really liked what he was doing here with Fierce Wings. This is a very, very cool action, and Torin's not afraid of actions. We're running 10 in a pretty compact list. So let's see, 21, that's 31, 34. I mean, we're hardly above a 50% foundation ratio on a 6-hander. We're just not afraid of running a high number of actions. We got Fierce Wings to go pick up Close Combat Tackle, which in a very asset-heavy format is a pretty good throw to go pick up. King Ghidorah loves throws, loves just winning slowly but surely and stacking damage, unlike Close Combat Tackle or Overwhelming Gravity Beam, which is like a pseudo throw. Or we could just use Fierce Wings to go and grab like another Unmatched Quickness or another Relentless Challenger. You know, these foundations that when there's only one in your stage, it might not be a big deal, but once you start getting 2 or 3 of these in your stage, they become very difficult to go over the top on. Like 3 Unmatched Quicknesses is just going to be -3 speed on every single rival move, or 3 Relentless Challenger, -3 damage. And then you get to start stacking that damage on your throws for offense. So big fan of this list here, and I love seeing Fierce Wings at a 4x. Next up, number 8, we have Andrew Porat on Ymir. I was between both Jacob and Drew made top cuts with Ymir, and I actually thought that Jacob Johnson's list was a little more saucy in his deck building choices, but Drew's list feels more me. This is something that I would definitely play. I really appreciate that we are playing 4x Flying Knee Strike and 4x Keiko's Aid. Basically, Keiko's Aid is like a better Breaker 2, so we have 8x cards that say Breaker 2, because Ymir is so powerful just on her own once she transforms. And if you have like a single shapeshifter or just a couple brief respite, then her offense is going to be very, very potent. You just need to survive to see that turn 2, see that turn 3. How are you going to survive like a pony turn, for example? And those Breaker 2s go a long way. So I like the kind of defensive bent of this list, where we also have some vast strengths, incredible display, 4xing fourth wielder. We got 3x resting up. So I really like how defensive this list is, but we're not sacrificing too much too much offense. We still got 3x defeating the Colossus Titan. By the way, Ymir's used to always be playing this like a 2x. I noticed that both Jacob and Drew were playing this at a 3x. So it looks like it's just too good of a card to keep down to 2. Coming in at number 7, we have Connor Eldridge, a local of mine at Stormcrow Games here in Lubbock, playing Pony. But I loved the sauciness of this list. We've all seen the like Battle Aura release, Falling Skies, Electric Moth build of Pony, but Connor goes a very different direction. He's playing none of those cards. He's going 5 difficulty tribal with City Rampage. And this is a really, really neat combo here. Sword Strike, we can clear it with Pony, put it into momentum, and then Muscle Mauler, which by the way is a, if you have more health than your rival, this card gets -1 difficulty. And then it says, destroy a face down, draw 1 card, and add 1 card from your momentum to your hand. So I like this idea of Sword Strike, clear Sword Strike, Muscle Mauler, pick up Sword Strike, play it again. Then we're also playing cards like Smashing Stomp, which are going to draw. We get to play Armor of the Wolf, which Pony has 4 enhances on face. So lots of buttons to push, and the damage just goes up and up and up. Levi's Overhead Strike, when it hits, you get to clear something else. We can even be clearing like our City Rampages with this list. 2x Sugar Rush power up. What I like so much about this Pony list is that the attacks hit harder than the 4 difficulty Pony list. Now, the downside is this is a little dependent early on finding that City Rampage, right? So that you can just pass just a huge string of these attacks. But if you find the City Rampage and 3 or 4 attacks, and then you can dig with Pony, you're in very, very good shape here. At number 6, we have Ryan Levine on Hawks. I used to be a huge Hawks gamer. I put in like probably hundreds of hours of practice to play Hawks last year for Worlds. And then I was kind of Hawksed out, and I really haven't looked a lot at Hawks. I would say in a year, like since Worlds last year. Honestly, I put the character down. I actually played Ryan in Atlanta, and he was playing Hawks, and I had to read the character. I felt kind of embarrassed. I was like, how am I having to read Hawks? So Ryan's been putting in just months and months of hard, dedicated work on this character, and I really like what he's done. It's also just a good meta choice. We have Focused Attack, which puts a lot of pressure on control characters. Hacker, in a meta that was kind of dominated in representation by Mimic. Hacker is your best card to defeat Mimic and just be flipping his triggers, Cape of No Returns, everything that he likes, his Knots, Flasks. Showdown, if you want to stop Pony, for example, well, these 3-speed, high attack zone moves, we can showdown them and then commit their sacrifice for the cause, and you've kind of taken away the teeth from the deck. So I really like the place that this has in the meta, and then Ryan's just put in a lot of work. Focused Attack. This is going to be a good final ride for Focused Attack before it rotates with Critical Role. And Absorbed Energy Spirit Strike to take momentum, and then you can flip things like Lethal Slash. We saw that like Mitchell was playing 4x Lethal Slash in his Fire Bertel that made top 4. So Absorbed Energy Spirit Strike, being able to flip the Lethal Slash can go a long way too. I just really like how well positioned this list is. It definitely feels like a me list. I could see myself picking this list up again and falling in love with Hawks again. Okay, into our top 5 lists across nationals. I have, and this is with zero bias, Patrick Toombs, my older brother, on Chaos Mimic. So we both went with Chaos Mimic. I ended up going 6-3 at nationals, but Patrick went 7-2, made top 16, and then he lost to Mitchell, I think 2-1 in top 16. But I really, really enjoy Patrick's list. It's a lot more saucy than my Mimic, and I think than the other Mimics, honestly, that made top cut. So Patrick was playing a lot of these like cool, unique assets like La Brava, USS Cerritos, Mimicry, and then he could build them in with Dangerous Gambit. So he's 3xing Dangerous Gambit. He can build in these really cool assets and then immediately use them. So like Mimicry, it's a form ability. So typically you have to wait until your next turn to be able to use it. Well, Patrick can just play Mimicry, Dangerous Gambit, build it in, and then immediately form and use it. He's also 3xing Armored Titan Rush, which says it cannot be blocked. Your rival cannot block this with a non-attack card. So you're forcing your rival to use an attack to block it, and then it transforms into Reiner's Toughness, which takes an attack's damage to 0. So basically, this one attack takes away 2 attacks from your rival. It also says Ruin 1, helping give you just a little bit of stage advantage. It definitely pays off the 7 diff. So I saw some running this as like a 1x, but Patrick is 3xing Armor Titan Rush. He's playing a very, very patient game here with Mimic. We have the 3x Armor Titan Rush. We've got like a Dimensional Sphere. We've got a Cheerful Uppercut. We've got like a Decoy Duplicate, a Broken Psyche. We're 3x Cape of No Return, a Runaway. We have a lot of defense. Fun fact about Patrick's day 1, he lost every single die roll. And he 2-0'd every round for the first 4 rounds. So day 1, we played 4 rounds with Swiss. Patrick was 8-0, and he was 8-0 going second all 8 games. Just put on an absolute clinic. And here I was thinking like, oh, if I had only won a die roll, I would have won. Patrick just said, I don't need die rolls. I'll just win anyway. Very, very strong start. Then day 2, he made top cuts, and a couple things didn't go his way in top 16. But a really, really cool list. You can just see all these 1Xs, and it's not every single 1X card in here has a purpose. That's what made Mimic so cool. All right, next up we have at number 4, Jonathan on Bertolt 2 from the UK region. And this list, when I got to cast the UK regional, and when I was watching Jonathan on this list, I was just thinking, oh my gosh, this is the optimal way to play Bert. This is crazy. I had never considered Lethal Slash outside of Pony. And then Jonathan 4x Lethal Slash here, and we're just saying, we're just going to play on the front side of Bert. We're just going to take advantage of our character saying draw 2, discard 2 on every single attack, to where we just draw our entire deck and everything gets 2 damage, and we don't have to play real defense because everything gets -2 damage. So just watching this go to work and all the different combos that he had here to clear his card pool, it was absolutely flooring me. Honestly, I thought that a lot of people were going to be copying this list for US Nationals, and then I was pretty surprised when I didn't see it around. Now, Mitchell's list was pretty similar to this one in the sense that it was very, very aggressive and could just pop off early, and it was also playing Lethal Slash. But here are some of the other cool combos. We had like Forcing Surrender here to discard a non-attack card from your card pool. So easy mode, you could just discard a Firepower and then you can use a Firepower again. But you could also like Trace Eyes, Echo the Trace Eyes, and then discard the Trace Eyes from your card pool. Or Rabbit Kick says like, you discard a non-attack in your card pool, and then you also flip this after it resolves, and then you can Forcing Surrender the Rabbit Kick out of your card pool. So there was all these things going on. Instant Shining Flash, making your next attack lower progressive. It was just kind of blowing my mind, and when it really was working, it was just a killing machine. And by the way, guys, like Bertolt at post errata, he lost his defense. His offense is still just as potent. I think you could take this list and dominate at Worlds. I think you could take this list and it could very easily still be like a top 10 list in the game. Okay, number 3, we have Liam Chauner, also from the UK, on Elder Toguro. And anytime you are playing Stomp of the Female Titan with a straight face, I'm going to love your list. This is like 10 out of 10 on sauciness. So we're taking the Sports Festival champ, Elder Toguro, like super combo that Travis used to win Atlanta. And we've changed it up a little bit for these new cards. Now we're adding duplers, and we're using duplers with that Replicator Enthusiast to where we can very quickly build up a stage of duplers and then slam this damage down on any attack that we want, and then they can't reduce it, and then we swap it, and now it's like a 20/20. But the Stomp of the Female Titan, anytime you're giving it like a bonus, you then get to double that bonus. So if you have like 3 duplers in your stage, you're committing it for 6 damage, commit for 6 damage. That's 18 damage on the Stomp of the Female Titan. Just very cool that we're 2xing that 7 difficulty. What do they call it? They call them like a Timmy attack. It just makes me happy that like that 13 difficulty attack we saw Corey Nelson doing pretty well with. Now we're seeing Stomp of the Female Titan here with Liam, who got 2nd place at the UK regional. So these big kind of goofy cards that you think are just like, ha ha, nobody's really gonna, and then here it is, and it just breaks the game in some way. Yeah, this is just a cool list. We saw the Luna Ring be the perfect answer for Mimics, just to loop Luna Ring and every single turn destroy their best assets, and then we're just playing this combined firepower. Death List after that, it's pretty similar to everybody else's. Okay, at number 2, we have our third straight list from the UK. 3 out of the top 4 of my favorite lists were from UK. It was such a fun event, and we never got to put Luke's deck on stream. I was so bummed about it. We were going to put him on for Swiss, but he had done so well. He was Swiss champ that they were just going to ID. And then round 1, we went to Liam to show off the Elder Toguro, and we were going to go to Luke round 2, but he lost out in the first round of top 8. But this was a deck list that screamed me. This was like my kind of list. In Atlanta, I played this Void, Rodan, Mill, that just, the Void symbol right now can just lock you up and put you in jail. And Jin gets the speed control of Rodan, but he also gets a cancel. And while, yes, attacks have moved to blitzes over enhances, we still have enough attacks with enhances to where it's very worth it. For example, like Kraken is a very common attack at the moment. Well, with Jin, you can cancel them committing your Cape of No Return. And then you can keep your Cape of No Return and keep them locked in jail. We had the Disarming Glance super combo before they eroded. Disarming Glance. This was like a 100 card list. I just love it. We got 4x Cape of No Return, 4x Genkai's Guidance, 4x Condescending Explanation, 3x Dimensional Sphere. We are just locking our rivals in jail. And then we're eventually going to win the game. But what I really liked on offense was 3x Ultimate Combination. This is a deck that wants to play into the long game. Ultimate Combination says you get a speed for every 3 foundations in your stage. So, if you've built yourself up to 15 foundations, I can't imagine that Luke was scared of Deadlock with this list. Especially, you're not so scared of Deadlock when you're Jin because you can cancel a Deadlock Enhance, and Masho Concealment can cancel something Deadlock from their stage. So it's a character that allows you to play more into Deadlock, more so maybe than like a Rodan on Void. Yeah, so Ultimate Combination gets really, really fast. Powerful 4, it's like our best momentum out here. We were seeing that on Void, you really don't get a lot of like powerful momentum outs. So you see a lot of people going to the punch list so that they can play repeated 100% smash. But here, we'd rather still stick to like our readied shot, which readied shot to pick up Genkai's Guidance. How freaking cool is that? And our Ice Sword execution, and so we are playing this Ultimate Combination with Powerful 4 and Hacker. By the way, we get to build our foundations from our momentum when we play that. So like Double Fists can get us momentum. That's not an attack. That's a foundation. Hacker can get us momentum. That's like a foundation. Elasticity can do it. I think there was one other one in here, but I can't remember it. But we have ways to get momentums that are foundations. I don't think that's the main point of it. The main point of it is probably just that it's a really fast attack with Powerful 4 on it. Just really nice to see Ultimate Combination seeing some serious competitive play. And then 4x Strategic Maneuver. So that Cape of No Return, even though we're 4xing it, like we're kind of 8xing it, right? We can just Strategic Maneuver and then find it. Or if we're going to go in for the kill and we want to like cancel a runaway, we can just free build in Tattered Costume with Strategic Maneuver, or build in vertical maneuvering equipment. Anyway, love seeing that at a 4x. I would play this deck all day long. And then at number 1, my favorite list from Nationals. I should rephrase that. It's not my favorite list. It's the most impressive list though. It's Travis Tangeman on Krista. Who had Krista and like their top 5 of Nationals contenders. Full credit to Travis, absolute genius. One of the top 3 players in the game right now. I don't think there's even any debate. He won St. Louis. He now wins Nationals, and Team MGLA just put up a really, really good showing with Krista. Showed what this character can do, that it had reached. It had reached the things it needed to just go crazy. Like, don't do this from the Star Trek decks to discard a card and get stun one. And then we're going to Wall Maria's Might. We're going to draw like 20 cards and we can just discard everything on every attack to just absolutely stun them out. We're always going to be checking sixes with our number 23. We're always going to have like our runaways on defense, and then we can loop them with the struggling with studies. We've got Dimensional Sphere for some solid defense. Frog Strike as a very powerful move, and that now that discard a card cost actually helps us as Krista. Petty Squabble, long range support. There's so many discard outlets here that Krista just piles on the counters very, very quickly. We get to play Walk the Dog, Armor the Wolf. This is just like the best cards on the Chaos symbol, and we got to combine it with Wall Maria's Might, which is the best draw card in the game. So Travis found the secret sauce. He absolutely broke this list, broke Wall Maria Might. He made his own deck profile on this list that I highly encourage you to go watch, especially if you're going to be playing at Worlds in Orlando, because a lot of characters, we had Recovery Girl get hit with an errata, Mimic get hit with an errata, Bertolt get hit with an errata. We had Disarming Glance and Knots Flask get errated. Well, that doesn't affect this list at all. I think Travis was sideboarding the Disarming Glance combo in, if I remember correctly. I didn't put his sideboard here on my PowerPoint, but this list really didn't get affected, and it just won nationals. It just took down everybody. So I think that you absolutely must prepare for this going into Orlando. If you want to win Worlds, there's a very good chance that you're going to run into a Krista player, and you need to know what to do and how to overcome it. So that was it. Let's run through them one more time real quickly. In 10th, we had Corey Nelson on Recovery Girl. In 9th, Torin on King Ghidorah. In 8th, Andrew Porat on Life Ymir. In 7th, we had Connor on Pony. 6th place, Ryan on Hawks. 5th place, Patrick on Mimic. 4th place, Jonathan on Bertolt. 3rd place, Liam on Elder Toguro. 2nd place, Luke Quincy on Void Jin. And in 1st place, Travis Tangeman on Chaos Krista Lens. Congratulations to everybody who played at Nationals and made top cuts. All of the events were very, very fun. They were each unique. I think you guys did a great job of representing the game and putting on a show for us viewers. And I will see you in Orlando in a couple days.